Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Kimberly DeCray. I am a 2 times CrossFit Games team athlete who loves to help others with competing and working out and making healthy foods. So as an athlete, one of the hardest things that I've ever gone through is 3 ACL surgeries. Now, anyone who has been told that you've torn your ACL or that you're going to have some sort of surgery and you're a competitive athlete, it is extremely devastating. You feel like your world is just crushed because the thing that you've been dedicating yourself emotionally and physically to is now just taken away from you. And it's really hard. And first of all, I just want to say I am so sorry to anyone who has just gone through this or heard this news. But there is good news. You can come back, and I know that this is possible because I did it. And I mean, like I said, I've had 3 ACL surgeries, and my last surgery was not just an ACL surgery, it turned into an infection. When an infection happens, that is extremely detrimental to your body, because when the infection is in your body, it's in your blood, and if it doesn't get removed, you will die. So it will just start going away at your body. So I had to have another surgery after my knee surgery once they discovered that, yes, I did have an infection, like an emergency surgery, so they could remove and clean out the infection. I didn't know this, but apparently a lot of the times it takes multiple surgeries for them to actually get rid of the infection. But luckily for me, it was removed the first time. And it was not an easy thing that my body went through. I lost complete feeling in my knee. I actually still don't have much feeling in my knee. I also lost a ton of hair. I had extreme acne. My skin was a mess. So many things in my body were out of whack. Anyway, my whole point with this is to say that yes, you can come back, because if I came back from that, I believe that you can come back from a regular ACL surgery or whatever the knee surgery that you had. I believe that injuries and surgeries are just setbacks, and they can be used as fuel to make us work even harder and come back even stronger, and not just physically, but mentally as well. So here are the 5 tips that I would recommend to someone who just had knee surgery that helped me. First is visualize. When I was bedridden for over 3 weeks, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. There was nothing I could do physically to help myself in my current situation, to help myself physically. So the only thing that I had was my mind. And all that I did was just visualize myself coming back. I visualized myself in my sport. I visualized myself lifting weights and being aggressive and doing all that. Now, I know that can be hard, especially in the current physical state that we are in right after our bodies go through something as traumatic as surgery. But if you at least try and make it a habit every single day to just visualize yourself doing it, it will make it way easier for you mentally, and it will keep you in the game. It will keep you mentally strong and mentally healthy enough when you are ready to move to get your body back to where it needs to be. The next one is very obvious, but I'm going to go into more detail about it, and that is rehab. Rehab after surgery can be one of the hardest things to do, because you have just been cut into and you don't want to do the movements. In some ways it doesn't feel right, especially when you still have the stitches on. It's like moving around doesn't feel good. For those of you who like it, I know there are people that like it and appreciate it, and that is great, because it is actually very great. But I personally, at least in the beginning of all my surgeries I've had, I hated the rehab. I just didn't like it, but I did it because I knew it was good for me. So when you're doing rehab, you want to make sure you're getting as strong as possible. And even if you can add in movements that will help you mentally, movements that will give you more confidence, that is similar to the rehab that you've been given, that you've been told for ACL surgeries, but even go above and beyond. Like I was told, oh yeah, do one-legged squats. So I would do one-legged squats, but I would add weight, and then I would add more weight. And I just, the amount of weight that I could handle. I was doing everything that I could to gain the strength, to gain the confidence that my knee was getting closer and closer to the strength of my other knee and to where it was before. The other thing I would like to point out for the rehab is to really focus on the movements that you were uncomfortable with, because the more you focus on that, then just like the strength, the more you will gain confidence in that knee. It sounds very obvious, but the more you work on your weaknesses and the more you work on the things that scare you, the better you will get all around. Yes, we always want to do the things we are good at and the things that are comfortable, but the more you do the things that you are uncomfortable with, and you have to keep reminding yourself, oh, what movement did I like the most? What movement in rehab today was the most uncomfortable to me or bothered me the most? Okay, that's the one that I'm going to do at home, double the amount of times. Third tip, work on what you can do. So when I tore my ACL, obviously for the first few months, I couldn't run, I couldn't do much legs, I couldn't squat. So I focused on what I could do, which was upper body and core. I did as much core as I could. I was constantly doing sit-ups, and I did so many push-ups. I was doing push-ups and pull-ups as much as I possibly could so that I came back even stronger. So no matter what your sport is, even if it's soccer or something where it's very highly involved with your legs, it will never hurt if you are strengthening your core and your upper body. Fourth tip, go easy on yourself. This is probably the hardest thing for any athlete coming back off of surgery, because as an athlete, you want to get back to where you were so badly that it can be extremely emotionally tough, because once you've reached those PRs, once you've reached a certain level, that's all you're thinking about. But when you have surgery, you have to go easy on yourself because you have just gone through something extremely traumatic. So if you continue to compare yourself to who you were before you hurt yourself and had this incision to your muscles, it's not going to do any good, because the truth is you are not at that state right now, and it will take a lot of time and a lot of patience to get back to that state. So don't compare yourself to the old you, compare yourself to the new you. And this leads into the fifth and final tip. View everything as a new PR. So whenever you hit a new landmark or something after your surgery, view it as a post-surgery PR and celebrate this as a win. Everything after your surgery is like, view that as a new you and celebrate all the little wins. So do not think about what you were doing before. Just think about, oh, wow, I just squatted 100 pounds. That's great. Oh, I just squatted 125. New post-surgery PR. And the more you start to celebrate those wins, the more you start to appreciate them, and the more they will come. So in summary, remember, we want to visualize us doing the sport. We want to focus on rehab, strength, and doing the things that are uncomfortable. Work on what you can do. Don't focus on what you can't do. Work on what your body can do, upper body, core, whatever hasn't been worked on. Go easy on yourself. View everything as a new PR. So please don't beat yourself up too much. I know exactly what you're going through. It is so, so painful. If you ever want to talk to me about this, please leave a comment or send me an email, and I will write back as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are doing okay.